Alright, so for today's video, I'm going to be taking a Genshin Impact survey. This has been kind of doing the rounds on Twitter and YouTube the past couple days. We see here that this survey was posted in the Genshin Impact Discord account on the 6th. It says, survey announcement. Hello travelers, we hope you had a chance to experience the Overflowing Abundance event. I have not. I have not played Genshin in like a month. To help us improve, we would love to hear your feedback about the system for acquiring enhancement materials, whether they're available all the time or only during specific time periods. The short survey includes 7 questions, and your responses will greatly help us adjust and optimize the game in the future. Thank you for your support. P.S. This survey is for research purposes only and does not represent future product changes. I like how they give that little disclaimer at the end saying, don't take this too seriously. Just because you answer questions in a certain way doesn't mean we're actually going to do anything about it. So yeah, here we have the survey link is right here on I'm pretty sure this is the only way to access the survey is through the Discord. So you get in the Discord, find the announcements, hit survey link, and you'll have to log into your Hoyoverse account, and then it brings you to this page where it just gives a little rundown of what we're going to be doing here. So let's hit start, and how satisfied are you with the time limit on acquiring talent level up materials and weapon ascension materials available on a weekly schedule? No, this is a horrible system. For those of you who haven't played Genshin Impact, essentially what this means, you can only acquire certain materials on certain days of the week. So, like, I don't know, only Claymore users can be upgraded on Monday. Only Polearm users can be upgraded on Tuesday. Only Catalyst users can be upgraded on Wednesday. I don't know how it actually works, but that's the general gist. I don't remember the days, but that's how it works. And it's stupid. It's a horrible system. Because imagine you finally just pulled a character off the banner that you really, really want, but, oh well, too bad for you, they used a fucking Claymore, but today is the Polearm upgrade day. The Claymore upgrade day isn't for 2 more days, so you finally get this character that you've really wanted to build and level up and play with, but because you don't have the upgrade materials, you can't level them up until 2 days later. It's fucking stupid. It's the stupidest system ever. Next, how do you prefer to farm materials? Focus on planning? I don't pay attention to the domain opening schedule and farm tracker. I don't pay attention to the schedule just for me. Yes. This is the correct answer. The way that this is sorted out is it makes you feel like you're working a job while playing a game. You have to plan your days in advance, do things on a certain day. What if you have real life stuff going on one day and you can't play? What if you fucking work? What if you have to go out? This is a very, very inconvenient system for most people that don't have 10 hours a day to play. So, yeah. Horrible. You shouldn't have to plan when you farm things. You should just be able to get on the game, farm whatever you want, and then get off, regardless of what day it is. 2.2. How do you prefer to farm materials? Focus on resin usage, select one. I tend to stockpile resin and farm everything at once. Farm a bit each day, spreading it out over several. No, I tend to stockpile and do everything all at once. That's just how I play. I will have like 240 resin plus the 2,400 something that you get from overcharge and just do it all at once and get everything I want right then and there, and then just wait to recharge back to full so I can farm for a different character. 3. Why do you find the process of building talent level up and weapon ascension materials unsatisfactory? Progression feels disjointed, being forced to pause it. Yes, that's one reason, because, yeah, you can only farm on certain days of the week. I miss material farming times for various reasons. Forgetting when domains are available, being unable to log in. Yeah, that's what I said in the previous question. What if you either forget what day it is, or you're just not able to play that day? Time limit make it hard to plan resin uses effectively. Different talent level up weapon ascension material domains that I require open on the same day, making it hard to gather enough of. That's also another fair point, so I'll just check all of them. Because yeah, what if there's 2 characters that you're grinding for and they're both available on the same day? Well, that means you're just gonna have to split your resin between both of them. And instead of having one really good character, you're going to have two mediocre characters. So yeah, then no negative. If you check no negative experience, you're fucking stupid. You're just a shill. Next, how satisfied are you with the material farming experience from weekly boss fights, where each boss can only be farmed once per week and materials drop randomly? This, I don't really have that big of an issue with. To me, it just feels like raid bosses and MMOs. Anybody who's played an MMO knows how this works. Whenever there's a raid, you run the raid to get the loot to level up your character, and typically you can only do the raid once per week. And once you get your loot, you're done, and you have to wait until next week until reset until you can do it again. So this system, I don't really have that big of an issue with because I'm probably just used to it. It's not a great system because it would be nice to just farm it all out at once and not have to worry about it anymore. But on the developer side, that would kind of defeat the purpose of having a weekly reset because, you know, if you can just farm your character and get super strong in a single day, you're not going to log in anymore until like 2 or 3 months later when another content drop happens. So on one hand, I can see it from the developers saying, well, we got to stretch out our game to make people come back and log in every other week. But also, I see it from the perspective of the gamer saying, well, if I have like 2 hours to play, but this raid only takes 20 minutes, well, what else am I going to do? I got my loot, so I'm just bored now. So, yeah, I'll just check neutral because I can see this argument from both sides. Number 5. How is your material farm frequency? I only farm for materials for the character I'm currently building. Yes, that's it. When I have characters to build, I farm 3 times a week. No, I tend to do it all at once. When I have characters to build, I farm more than 3 times a week. Regardless of whether I have characters to build, I farm 3 times. Regardless of whether I have characters, I farm more than 3 times a week. I don't really do weekly boss fights. I check the first answer. I only farm for things when I actually need them. 6. What aspects of the material farming experience from weekly boss fights do you find unsatisfactory? Among the randomly dropped materials, sometimes I'm unable to obtain the materials I need. That's an obvious answer. It sucks being able to go in, fight a boss, and then you kill it, and you don't even get what you want. Boss can only be farmed once a week, and the material acquisition efficiency is too low. Again, I can understand that. You want to do it all at once, but you can't because it's time-gated. The acquisition quantity of dream solvent and other auxiliary items cannot satisfy my needs. I'll check that as well just because they're all good answers. So, yeah, pretty simple question. Do the acquisition limits on the materials mentioned above affect your motivation to build the character? Yes. It makes me not want to play the game when I have to farm endlessly to get materials that may or may not even drop. It kills my motivation. It makes me not want to play because it legit feels like I'm working a job. I don't want to feel like I'm working when I'm playing a game. I want to play a game to just relax and have fun and not stress out about getting a material that I need to level up. So, yes, do the acquisition limits on the materials affect your motivation? Yes, they do. It makes me not want to do it. Hence why I haven't really played Genshin in, I don't know, months. 2, 3, I don't know. The last time I really logged in to play Genshin was when Mavwika came out. I summoned Mavwika, I got her, and then I immediately logged off and I haven't played ever since because I just wanted her. And next, oh, and that's the end of it, okay. Well, so yeah, that's this survey. Anybody with a working brain can understand why the survey is being asked now of all times. It's very simple. Recently, over the past month or two, Wuthering Waves has been exceeding all player expectations. 2.0 came out. It was already really big on mobile. Now it's got a big PlayStation community as well, because patch 2.0 came out on PlayStation on like January 2nd or January 3rd. It's doing really good. I'm playing it a lot. I love Wuthering Waves, honestly. Wuthering Waves is probably the biggest reason as to why I haven't played Genshin Impact in so long, is because Wuthering Waves just does everything Genshin does, but it does it better. And once you experience the world and the traversal and the exploration of Wuthering Waves, it makes it very, very difficult to go back and play Genshin because Wuwa is literally just better in every way. So we take into account that. We also take into account while Honkai Star Rail's Amphorius update is iffy, depending on who you ask, they did put out an announcement a week or two ago stating that they will be making changes to the future patches to make the gameplay more interesting and more accessible so it's not so boring. Because the main issue with Amphorius so far is that people say because the expansion is boring. The story is too slow, there's not enough cutscenes, the delivery of dialogue is stale and bland, and the Honkai Star Rail devs have addressed this and said we will be making improvements moving forward to reduce the amount of tedium that you have to experience and make the gameplay more fun and engaging and interesting. They also have announced they will be buffing older units to make old characters actually usable now. Because the meme in Honkai Star Rail is that the game is unplayable unless you summon the most recent units. Well, hopefully that won't be true anymore, because if what they're saying is true, they're going to be buffing old units to bring them back to basically make them stronger. Then, after Honkai, we also have to talk about Zenless. Zenless Zone Zero patch 1.4, I think, or 5. The Miyabi and Astriao, Astriao came out 1.5, Miyabi came out 1.4. The Miyabi and Astriao patches for Zenless were really, really, really good. They improved the quality of life of the game immensely. It no longer feels weird. I did not have a very good experience playing Zenless when I started. I played Zenless when it first came out, but I dropped it because it just wasn't really doing it for me. I was not a fan of the early game. The fucking TV sections were so fucking boring. But now they've added a lot more combat. The animations are great. The characters are great. They added the freaking Fall Guys Bang Boo event. Now, in replacement of the TV sections, there's little platforming sections where you can play as the Bang Boos and run around and jump and hop all over everything. The game is a lot better and it's a lot more fun. So, this is the reason why Genshin is coming out with the survey all of a sudden, because Honkai, Zenless, and Wuwa have all been receiving relatively high praise, with the exception of Honkai, but at least they're trying. The other three competitors of the Big Four have been, getting really big praise as of late, and Genshin is now sitting here wondering, well, what are we gonna do? So, yeah, that's the reason why the survey is coming out. Anyone with a brain could realize that. Genshin is obviously falling behind. It's still making stupid amounts of money every year, but the quality of the game is dropping, and all the other content creators are kind of starting to rag on it and say, yeah, this kind of sucks. One of the big tipping points that people had recently was the fact that I'm pretty sure for the first time ever in Genshin Impact, we received a double banner of new characters, being Mavuika and Sitlali at the beginning of 5.3. And we did get a bunch of free currency, but that free currency didn't come until after the banner ended, which is just a massive slap in the face to basically everyone, free-to-play players in particular. So yeah, that was kind of a major red flag that shows us how predatory Genshin actually is. And the game is not going to change unless people complain about it, which is why they're putting the survey out, to get some answers. Although I don't understand why this little disclaimer had to be given at the end saying that it doesn't represent future product changes. That kind of just invalidates the whole survey in my opinion, but oh well. Do I think anything is going to change in the game? No, not really. But I just wanted to do this just to see what the survey was and what kind of questions were being asked. So Yeah, if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.